Heather, and today we're going to learn how to fluff several different types of Christmas trees. So the first thing you want to do is get your tree out of the box, and you just want to get the bottom piece and securely attach it to the stand. And you also want to make sure you hold onto your instruction packet, which has your warranty information and spare lights that you can use to repair it throughout the season, or this information should be passed along to the customer when they buy the display tree at the end of the season. So to start out, I just like to start with the bottom section. You can go ahead and plug it in to make sure the lights are working. And you can leave all but your bottom row kind of flipped up on the tree so that you can easily see the row you're working with. So what you want to start with on your branch is your innermost branches. So you just kind of want to pull them out kind of in a star pattern and kind of alternate where they're going. And you want to remember, trees, their branches don't go straight downwards, and those won't be able to hold ornaments. So you don't really want any branches pointing straight down, although some can kind of angle down a little bit. But you just kind of want to fan them out, starting at the middle and working your way to the end of the branch. And then when you get to the end of the branch, you can leave some of your branches kind of pointing straight out. So you want a nice full look. And then you're just going to work your way around the tree like that, starting with the next branch. And you want to kind of make your branches so that it fills in evenly in between everything. So as you do this, you want to do one row at a time. So you'll start with your bottom row and you'll work your way around until you get to the next row, and then you can flip the next row of branches down. One other thing, this tree has pretty straight branches, so it's not really an issue. But sometimes when your tree comes in, you don't want your branches all crumpled up. So you want to make sure as you're doing that you're straightening out each branch as well, so that it kind of gives it its fullest potential. So then we're going to just flip this next row down, even though we haven't gone all the way around. But you can kind of see it's a lot easier when you start at the bottom and you don't have all these branches weighing down on top of you. And this way you can kind of make sure you don't miss anything as you're going along. One note, this is a smaller tree, but some of your larger diameter trees and your taller 9 and 12 foot trees are going to have branches that are a little bit different at the bottom. A lot of those branches are going to have a main stalk, and then they're going to have two offshoots that are kind of going to come off the sides. So with those, you'll be able to tell when you start fluffing them that there's two more branches that are kind of pushed to the middle. So you'll just want to separate those out and fluff those branches individually as well. And they just have those because when the tree is in a bigger diameter, you'll kind of have bigger gaps at the ends if they don't have those extra branches. So we will finish fluffing this tree and then show you the top of it. Okay, so now that we have our tree fully fluffed, and we've got all of our lights hooked together and it's all working properly, we can go ahead and take off any of the section tags or other little tags that are on the tree, since we want a nice finished look. And one other best practice that we do, since oftentimes the tag with the barcode that's on the base of the tree goes down inside the stand, we just print a rascal tag and stick that right on the outside of the stand down here, so it has the price and the UPC in case the tree tag gets ripped off of the tree during the season, so we still know which tree it is. So that's all for this tree, and we're going to move on to one of the more specialty trees that we have. Okay, so now we have a heavily flocked tree. And this one also has some specialty bulbs, which are marked by these little red filler caps. So we're going to go ahead and fluff this section first, and then we're going to change these bulbs out to these round globes. So with a flocked tree, you're going to start kind of the same as the other one with your innermost branches. But the main difference with the flocked tree is some of your branches you aren't going to be able to pull apart as much, and you don't want to rip all your flocking off. But you also want to kind of make sure most branches are going to be kind of flocked on one side. So you kind of want to turn that side to the top, since that's going to be more realistic as if snow just fell on your tree. One other thing you kind of want to do is, if you think about it, when snow lands on a tree, it's going to kind of weigh the branches down. So for this tree, you don't want as many branches pointing upwards, and your tree is going to have a little bit more of a droopy kind of heavy look to it to make it look more realistic with the snow. So we're going to take this right here and we're going to go ahead and fluff this next branch. Spreading these out and just kind of turn it so your snow is still at the top. And you still want some different dimensions to your branches, but just keeping in mind that your snow is going to be kind of droopy on this one. Okay, so here is one of our bulbs that we need to change. So you just unscrew the little red plastic piece and screw in your new bulb. Okay, so this is the power pole tree, so all we have to do is open up the little top and put the tree top on. There we go, and then we just have to fluff the top part. Okay, so here we have our fluffed tree finished. You always want to make sure that you've got all of your bulbs changed out to the globe ones. You will have a few extras, so hang on to those. And then make sure that your top of your tree is nice and straight. And as you can see, we kind of have a little bit more of a droopy look on this tree with the heavy flocking. So that is how you do a flocked tree. Okay, so here we have the cocoa tree, which is new for this year. So this is a bit of a different tree. It's kind of got thin, wiry little branches. So, and this one, we don't want to spread them out too much because it's almost supposed to be more like flat tiers with the branches. So we're just going to give it a little bit of motion with the branches here. So just to give it a little bit of depth. So we're just going to mess with the branches. And we'll do the whole bottom tier. And then we can pull down the next layer. So again, we're just going to kind of do these a little bit flat, so we're going to have some space in between the different layers. So this one's not going to be a very full tree, but that's okay. Sure you have some of your branches kind of angled forward. And this is not a lit tree, so we don't have to plug anything in for this one, but you still want to make sure you take all your section tags off. So here we have the finished cocoa tree. As you can see, it's a fairly thin tree and you've got lots of room and different layers to hang your ornaments. So it's okay if it's got different spaces throughout the tree. Just make sure all of your branches are nice and straight and spread out. So here we have a downswept tree, which means it's kind of a more natural looking trees and the branches on this one should actually slope downward. This one is in two pieces, but they're wired together, so we can go ahead and stick the top on this one. And then we're still going to start at the bottom, and as our branches are folded down, we kind of want to spread them out as usual again, but this time we are going to kind of have a downward sloping pattern to them. This one also has a couple different kinds of branches mixed in, so I kind of want to spread those out as well. So you kind of want to angle these down a bit. So we're kind of going to hide the space between the bottom of the tree and the decorative base that this one has. And we're just going to work our way up on the rest of these branches. Okay, so we have our finished downswept tree. As you can see, the branches kind of slope downward, so you don't want to pull these straight out or it's going to look a little funny. So just kind of keep your branches to a natural downward sloping angle when you do this tree. So here we have our dress tree, and this one comes in two sections, and on the inside of the top part we do have a little screw that will tighten this down. So you just want to put this on top here and tighten down the screw to keep it attached. Okay, so this one doesn't require a whole lot. As you can see, it's kind of got a hole here in the middle. So this one is mostly you're going to have your branches sloping downwards, similar to the downswept tree, just to kind of create a skirt for this one. They aren't going to stick out. It's not really designed to hold a lot of ornaments, so we just kind of want to slope these downward to create nice tiers of this dress. Okay, so here we have our finished dress tree. As you can see, we just kind of have nice sloping tiers to the branches. So this one really, you just have to kind of straighten out all your branches and get them at a nice downward sloping angle. The only other thing with the trees, when you're putting on your tree tags, if your tree is tall enough, you always want your tree tag to be at 5 feet tall. If it's a shorter tree, you can put them at 3 feet. That way all of your tags are at a nice eye level. All right, so that's all there is to fluffing a Christmas tree.